This video has been created to help you with your speaking skills. And I'll start by introducing two big but simple words: intelligibility and comprehensibility. What is intelligibility? Put simply, if you think I'm an intelligible speaker, it means you find it easy to understand what I'm saying, my words and their intended meaning. If, unfortunately, I was not an intelligible speaker, you would not be able to understand what I'm saying. What is comprehensibility? If you don't have to put too much effort to understand what I'm saying right now, it means I'm a fairly comprehensible speaker. If I wasn't, you'd probably want to skip this video because you'd not want to put too much effort to understand me. I hope that you've decided that I'm an intelligible, comprehensible speaker and are still watching this video. Since you're still watching, here's the good stuff. Some simple tips to keep in mind if you want to be an intelligible and comprehensible speaker. First of all, try to break up your sentences into meaningful phrases or units. Usually these are grammatically structured units. For example, my last team project, pause, had challenges and successes. So in this example, there's two what we could call message units. My last team project had challenges and successes, and a pause between them. If you want to attract attention to a particular word, for example, using a technical word or something important that your listeners may not understand, pause briefly just before or after it. Let's give an example. Today, pause. So the pause there draws your listeners' attention into what it is you're going to say. So today, I would like to discuss an important topic. Pause. Professionalism. So pauses are really important because they have this power to draw your attention to what the speaker is trying to say. So you need to use pauses strategically. Be careful though, don't use too many pauses. If you do that, then it could confuse listeners or it could be kind of awkward as well. For example, this would be an awkward version. Today, pause, I would pause, like to pause, discuss an important, you get the idea. Too many pauses, confusion, it's awkward. So with these tips in mind for increasing your intelligibility and comprehensibility, let's listen to a conversation between two intelligible and comprehensible speakers to get a better understanding of what's happening in their conversation. Tell me about a time you approached a challenge at work and solved it successfully. So we can see in this opening question by the interviewer, there's three message units, and there's a pause between each one of them. You'll also notice that at the end of each message unit, there's one word that receives a little more emphasis, and we can refer to that as a focus word. And in the first example, it's time. Tell me about a time. In the second one, it's work, when you approach the challenge at work. And the third one is solved it successfully. So these are the main words within those message units. And you want to say those words a little louder, a little bit longer, and a little higher in tone. They carry the meaning of the conversation. Tell me about a time you approached a challenge at work and solved it successfully. When I was working at Safeway as a cashier, I had to deal with customer complaints on a daily basis. Usually it was about a mix-up in prices. For example, the flyer advertised a sale price for a product, but it scanned at a higher price at the till, and that disappointed customers. So again, you can hear as I'm breaking my speech into these message units that at the end of each one, I'm saying that word with more emphasis. That's called the focus word. And speaking in this way makes it easier for your listener to understand, so it increases comprehensibility. Let's read a little more. I can understand how that could be frustrating. How did you handle these situations? I would apologize to the customer for the confusion and then promptly inform my supervisor. We would also get the customer a $10 discount on the product to make up for the inconvenience. This led to our supervisor running a price check program to make sure that all the store products scanned at the correct prices. It increased customer satisfaction and drastically dropped the amount of free products and discounts we had to give out over a year. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing this. So again, you can hear that I'm dividing my speech into these chunks or message units. And at the end of each one, there's one word that receives primary stress. There's other words in the message units that are also stressed, but not as much. And so keep these strategies in mind as you're speaking to increase your comprehensibility. And that, again, is making it easy for your listener to understand, and also your intelligibility, so that your speaker can understand what you're saying and follow along easily. Thank you for listening.